Good morning. Bringing the Finance Committee meeting for July 14th to order. Could I have a motion to approve the minutes of the last meeting?
Got that motion?
Thank you. Could I have a second?
Second.
All in favor, say aye.
Aye.
Any opposed? Thank you. Okay. The first thing I want to bring up, I want to continue on and hopefully finish with the Ohio Plan Insurance. We've been talking about this for quite a while. Now we need to complete it. So my first question will be to Andy. Do you have the contract ready to move forward with?
So what I was going to do is, if everyone is amenable, is I would take our standard Mount Sterling village use agreement, which is for everybody,
Okay.
it's not tailored for a specific person, and simply update it to make sure that it reflects what the Ohio Plan recommends. So yeah, that should be able to be teed up for the next council meeting.
Okay, okay. We have really taken our time with this. We have hashed it out. We have,
To be
yeah,
honest with you, I don't see that much that we need to hash out further, because
I agree.
the Ohio Plan is what it is. The recommendations are what they are. They're black
Okay.
and white. So we have renewed our policy for the coming year and are now expected to
Okay.
go ahead and deal with it. So
I think we're.
there's
we're
not
in
too much
agreement.
left to go here.
I agree. So we're going to bring this to the next council meeting. I'm going to talk to Stephen, just make sure that we haven't missed anything. And I know that realistically, we should do it on 3 readings. I'm considering doing it on an emergency because we really have taken our time with this. I think we need to move forward with it, so we'll see what council says. Does anyone have any questions before we
Yes.
move forward? Becky?
Yes. You guys are saying that we've taken a lot of time with it. I mean, I know it was presented to us at our April meeting to this committee. And then we had one work session for half an hour about it. And I don't know that there were a lot of ideas shared, but I don't know that there was any consensus ever reached. And as far as, like, Andy has this village use agreement that he's gonna adapt. Like, I've never seen it, like, this committee hasn't seen it, and what he's gonna change and what he's gonna do.
I mean, the village use agreement's been around for like 3 years, so
Right.
I'm pretty sure it's been around the horn a few times, and almost all of our park users sign it every single season. So it shouldn't be that much of a surprise.
Well, I understand that, but, I mean, this is a whole new, idea we're floating. And so, I mean, do I feel
Help me
like
there.
this
I'm
committee-
I'm not following. Help me there. Why what's a whole new idea?
The idea of what Joyce presented to us back in April of making, community groups and nonprofits and everybody, have an elevated form of insurance, not just their own insurance like all businesses have, but an elevated form of insurance where it even names the village in it, et cetera. That's something completely new that we've never done, just for events. So that's what I'm referring to. And, you know, to say that we've molded around for a long time, we haven't. We discussed it at one April meeting, and then we had a half an hour discussion about it at one other meeting. Now, you guys may have had more discussion about it, but the rest of us have not, and so I just think, I mean, it obviously will not be able to be put on an emergency because there's no way with, I feel confident there's no way that, I mean, I know I wouldn't vote on an emergency for it when I've never even seen what we're talking about yet. We're just talking about a concept that I'm not really even sure what it is, because when you expressed it, you had said you wanted this separate policy, and when Andy and I spoke about it, he said that just a general liability would cover it.
No, I think that's a start, but whatever the recommendation is from our agent, so your conversation with me occurred before our agent got back to us with clarification. So her comments were pretty significant for the public's benefit. Again, I think I've mentioned that this is 2026 and not a particularly exotic requirement by most municipalities.
Well, I'm just asking, I don't even know what it is.
Okay,
Well, okay, that's, so, in all fairness to Becky, let's go ahead and,
if I may.
yep.
You have the Ohio Plan Summary, correct? Everything's in there. Okay, so if
So-
you've read it,
So our agent
do
did go
see-
ahead, so we, did take an extra one, I think one for the public's benefit as well. Yes, this is something which we have to work through. Yes, it has been pending since April. No, we don't, intend on lowering the boom or something along those lines. But since it relates to the business of the village and the liability exposure to the village, yeah, we should probably think about it and be careful about it. So what we did is we went back to not only the risk plan consultant, but also our agent, as you requested. So you didn't request that, I apologize.
No, I'm not saying that at all.
Okay.
I-
So, and then we got that back from the agent, which took some time because the questions which were asked were pretty comprehensive. And then now we're dealing with those aspects.
Okay, so I have the Ohio plan in front of me, what we were given in April.
So that is
And
the,
there is-
for,
if I
hold
could
on,
just
hold on, for
speak-
the public's benefit, you have to explain what that is.
I
That is
will.
the actual insurance policy itself that you're holding in your hand. That is not the comments from our
No,
risk
this-
consultant or
this-
from our agent.
No, this is the comments from our agents.
Okay,
This
good,
is what we
good.
were given, April the 16th, 2026, dear Courtney, and it explains what they recommend. So I guess, we're getting ready to put this Ohio plan thing to bed and make legislation on it. In reading it, they make a lot of suggestions. They never make, other than that one swing needs to come down, they never made any determinations. They made suggestions, and they were, I know, asked certain questions. I know Joyce took the opportunity to ask them questions, like what if this scenario, how many can be in this size of a room, what should we charge? And a lot of those those answers came back, that's for you to determine and things like that. In this whole, I'd say 20-page thing, there's only one small little paragraph, 26-05 and 26-06 out of the whole thing that even talks about what you're talking about right now. The service providers and contracts to provide a certificate of insurance. That is a very small section of this. So I guess in the rest of this Ohio plan, it talks about obviously our playgrounds. It talks about administration, auditors, first aid, CPR, stop the bleed information. Are we just cherry picking the issue about contractual?
Well, this is the finance committee, and so yes, you would cherry pick the business aspects about this, of which insurance is one. So yeah, we can talk about the administrative ones. They probably would occur in a general council meeting. As it relates to this committee discussion, we are focused right now on any outstanding business items related to the policy. So we have enacted the policy. The policy is in force right now. So what we are doing is to go ahead and make sure we have the underlying support for it, as if that makes sense. So where we're going with this is we're checking boxes. So if we want to talk about stop the bleed training, we certainly can. But that's probably for a different meeting in a different context. For right now, the business aspects of it and the liability aspects would go through finance.
Right, and the business and liability and financial aspects of the playground equipment was presented through this committee as well in April.
I would like for us to
I don't
focus
recall
on the
that, but okay,
financial
go ahead.
part of it.
Well, that was, okay, so just so you guys know, so the motion you guys made yesterday, George came in early this morning. He is out there assessing what you guys asked
We went,
to do that. So he will have and you guys made
Yeah,
that
I-
motion
the
last
swings
night.
are coming down today.
What is it?
The swings are coming down today. Nathan went last night and took pictures. Both straps are gone, correct? They're gone. They're a safety hazard. They need to come down.
Well, that's
Okay,
true.
this
If
is-
that's the case,
Okay.
that is
Can we
absolutely
return back to the issue at
But
hand?
this is finance.
Yeah, this is the
All we're
finance
dwelling
section.
on is finance,
Yeah.
true.
finance.
Well, I understand that, and that's why when you first brought this insurance issue to finance, I was a little surprised, because
Well, where else would it go?
I don't know, where would administrative stuff go? Where would,
It depends on the administrative stuff, but if we're talking about basic contracts, they would tend to go to the finance committee.
Everything else would go to the mayor.
No,
But
not
here's the thing,
necessarily.
though, is that, in an issue like this, it'll go to full council.
Yeah.
So it doesn't matter, whatever you all say in these meetings,
Doesn't matter.
doesn't matter a bit.
I'm just not sure what
Unless
we're
you go to
saying,
council.
because nothing
We're
has
talking
ever been
about the
made clear.
insurance part, Becky.
Yeah, we're
I
purely
understand that,
focused on the
but-
insurance aspect.
But we've not been given an idea of what it is you guys want. We still don't
So
know.
what's the contract that you have written?
I mean, it's
But that you will be
simple.
making edits to?
We should have came today with a contract in hand.
Contract in hand,
So what
So-
edits will you
so-
be making to that?
add purely the liability, furnish the liability insurance
Okay, so
certificate.
what will you be adding in there? Is that
I
third
just said-
parties
You just
have to
said it.
have?
I just said I will be adding the liability insurance requirement as stipulated by our comments from our agent who gave us a coverage.
So, my recommendation, Andy, if you don't mind, would be that you make those edits, give it to Courtney, and let her get it out to the finance committee this week. We will have an entire week to review it before it goes to council.
Well, do you want to just, are you gonna have another meeting, or is this just gonna be put in a piece of legislation for the members to vote on at the next council meeting?
Well, seeing how this
I
is
don't-
apparently purely a recommendation, I don't see another, that's
I don't
up to
see
you
another
guys, but I
meeting.
don't see an additional meeting as necessary.
If you can get it out to council to
Okay, so if
review.
there are edits that need to be made on the contract, so say that people do have edits that they wanna make on that, are you going to be requesting another meeting?
No.
So you'll take it to
What edits
council
could they
and they can
possibly
make a
need?
vote?
It's one sentence.
Yeah, so you'll take it to a vote to council at the next council meeting.
I would hope so.
I think
Is
so.
it, that's fine. Again, I'm just very unclear about what we're even recommending here.
We're
I feel like-
recommending we follow the guidance that our coverage, around our coverage, which was recommended by our agent. I mean, this isn't, again, this is 2026. These things are pretty normal.
Okay.
and,
David, are you confused about this?
Yes, that's what they are.
Okay, so we'll get copies out to both of
Okay, I
you.
appreciate that.
Absolutely,
Thank you. It's always- I'll give me time to catch up on everything.
absolutely. Now, there's training involved. You sent out the training link.
Right.
Did you guys receive the training link? Have you started your training?
I did not find it user-friendly the first time I tried to do it. I don't know if anyone else has tried it yet.
I have tried it. I'm partway through it. I had no problem.
Does this have anything to do with finance, this part?
Well, the whole plan needs to be taken somewhere and not
Right.
probably cherry-picked apart to
Right.
be taken to this department or this department. Because eventually I mean, I guess if we're questioning what committees do and what they make up and where they should go, it's gonna go back to council. So I guess if you guys don't want to address it and discuss it in a work session as you all did, or don't want to discuss it in a finance meeting, then I guess you're gonna just take everything to council then. And then motions will be, as they have been, circled around. So just remember, the mayor has the opportunity to send any piece of legislation without consulting any of you, okay? So just keep that in mind, is that any piece of legislation can go from him straight to council. So I guess if we want to cherry pick a part of where it should have went and should have been and hadn't been, or should have been, shoulda, woulda, coulda, that would be just maybe just your personal preference. But if you can't address the entire package altogether because it just came in at one package,
Right.
it didn't say take it here or take it there. You guys have the opportunity to vote on it. You have the opportunity to amend it. What the mayor is saying is that, and I think he said it, is that he's putting in there a general liability, that insurance, proof of insurance for third-party events or whoever, that's what he's gonna include in that contract. So at that point, playground, I know it fits at parks, but unfortunately it came in a package. You guys already made the motion yesterday. That's already in full
Yeah,
movement.
we're already underway.
So that one's already been taken care of. The training situation, I don't know what best else where to put that at. I did send an email, did tell you all that here's your login information, here's what needs to be happening. If you wanna take that to water and waste, take it to water and waste. If you guys wanna take it to streets, take it to streets, take it to records retention. But at this point, that's the recommendation. If you all, and it's a suggested training, so it's not a required training, but it is a suggested. So that was what was confirmed. You all received that email. So however you want to apply that, however you want to take that, it was suggested, it's not required. So I think every aspect has been noted in here. It's however you all choose to vote upon that. And it is everybody's right to vote. It is everybody's right to amend, to edit. But at the end of the day, democracy still stands.
That's right.
It is the majority of vote. So if you all have any additional questions, I have been very available, very helpful in answering any of those questions. If you do have those questions, please feel free to send those to me. You know, I know Becky had suggested it last time, is that, you know, if you want to filter things through to me and I can get it to the agent,
Absolutely.
you absolutely have that choice.
Absolutely.
It is very open. You do have the mayor here if you want to consult with him, to individually come in here, say tomorrow at 10:03 a.m., go into his office and say, hey, I would really like to take that conversation. I'd really like to say what that contract is. So I think we need to utilize our people skill and our communication skill to best serve whatever you all have questions about. Because it's not good to fester them and, you know, have questions later or during a vote. I would want to get my information as much factual as I could.
And
So
I have
you
found our
can choose
agent,
anything.
I have found our agent very good to work with. She's been outstanding in answering basic and complicated questions both. She's been responsive, so if there's further clarifications, which we need to get, let's get them. It's no problem.
Are we gonna talk about the voting process when it comes down to this, or are we just gonna do that at council?
That's at council, I'm sorry. I don't
No, you're
know,
fine.
Voting
whatever.
process.
I don't know what
Okay.
we're talking about. That's just a normal,
All right.
normal procedure.
So we're clear
What was the
that,
voting?
nothing.
Okay.
We're clear that Andy's gonna make the changes, he's gonna get them to you, and you're gonna send them to the committee.
So you just only want them to be sent to the committee?
Or
Because I
council.
know that there was a
No.
little bit of speculation with a certain council member that didn't get the information properly sent to, well, I don't want to say properly, but in their need of time. So what my suggestion would be
Send them to council.
is send the contract to council.
Yeah.
Of course, there's no conversation, no debate, there doesn't need to be a discussion or anything like that amongst everybody, because you know, that becomes a public record. So I would think that because it's been verbally placed by one council member, that you probably should put this out to everybody, so that if they do have questions, they can certainly come back to him, or they can certainly come back to you.
Yeah, I
Because it
agree
sounds
with
like
that.
you've spoke with the agent, he has spoken with the agent.
I did.
And that's where the questions,
yes.
if you have any questions, or say they want to see a copy of what you sent. Because
Absolutely.
you've verbatimly
Oh, I
voiced
think that
it.
was distributed, wasn't
Yeah.
it? I'm pretty
No,
sure.
it was not.
Oh,
But if
okay.
you want to be able to provide that to whomever approaches you, or you want to provide that, they would have the questions, because I can't remember honestly what was ever said in that meeting, because there was a lot that was talked about. So if they choose to want to do that, they certainly can. But I think it should be going to everybody, if they all certainly want to review this, if that's what they're gonna be voting on.
Perfectly fine.
But there's not gonna be, only the contract is gonna be sent. It's not gonna be legislation when it's written. It's just the contract for them to review,
Okay.
okay? So I don't see the purpose of it just going out to the three of you,
That's fine.
because you're already talking about it now.
That makes sense.
Yeah.
Thank you.
But as far as if I can touch base on the playground stuff, I did give a copy of that to George. He is going to be providing back probably today, but again, the deadline was on Friday, of and addressing, and again, it's just to address some of the situations or issues out there, and to provide a suggestion as well. Because some of the things they can rectify, some of the things they're gonna have to take a little bit more time. Because again, if there's certain
Right.
bolts that need to be ordered, you know, obviously wraps may not have those. So there will be I want to say, a conclusion to what they're suggesting and what needs to happen according to what was suggested by the Ohio Plan. So that will be sent on Friday. So I will have edits to be made to explain to what their findings were.
Okay. So that takes care of the Ohio Plan insurance. Moving forward, we're gonna touch base on the budget. This is a process, of course, that begins about this time every year. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to ask Courtney to start preparing everything for the budget. As in the last 2 years, we have not gone to committees and asked for wish lists. Is that correct?
We have in the past asked for wish list, but it doesn't deter anybody from sitting at a work session and suggesting that, again, I'm gonna use the term, wearing red shirts. So, I know I have asked committees to be starting to look for that, because we really should not be making any dramatic edits to, once Courtney throws the
Correct.
numbers up there.
Correct.
You know, committees should be working that, like streets You know, let's just say they want to do another $100,000 street project. They should be bringing that to the table. Somebody should be bringing that to the table. Now, Andy's going to suggest what he thinks, you know, as he's done in the past, like, okay, the guys are going to they're going to give us a list of items.
Well, they always do,
Tools
because they
and-
know what supplies and
Yeah,
tools,
like
yes,
trucks
they
or
do know
Kubota,
that.
whatever that may be.
Right.
And then that's already gonna be compiled in there. But committees honestly should be thinking about, you know, do they want to buy red shirts for everybody on Wednesday? So, you know, you should be, those committees, they should be talking about that. Now, if you choose to say that's a wish list or not, but the committee should be saying, hey, because you're gonna have to have the support of your committee to say, hey, we're gonna need, you know,
Well, a
red shirt.
need and a wish list to me are two different things.
Well, there's wants and needs, and I've said that before, there's a difference with that. But at the end of the day, any person on council can suggest anything they want up on that spreadsheet.
Okay.
At the end of the day, it will come back down to what we always say, democracy.
right.
Whatever votes at the end.
My
Right.
dream is all
So,
those streets, but that's
historically-
not gonna happen.
Historically, you have all said, okay, let's take it to a vote.
Right.
And then it's either put on the spreadsheet or it's not put on the spreadsheet.
Right.
Now, anybody from the public can put in input, that's why it's a public meeting. Anybody at the council can say, no, I want this now. I mean, anything to change on that. But when it finalizes and a recommendation gets sent to council, then it's placed to a 3 reading
Right.
vote.
Right.
So I guess if you want to say it a wish list, but every committee should be thinking about what's important.
What their needs are.
What the need is.
Becky?
So, would this be the time right now where, I mean, obviously, the committees are the committees, and they're gonna bring their wish list back to us, or council, or whatever, process ends up being, but for general things like town hall repairs, and maybe possibly entertaining the idea of a village administrator, or possibly entertaining the idea of, you know, what we could save in the budget, just talking about the sheriff's contract again. Those kind of big issues that don't necessarily have a committee tied to them, would this be the time
Yes, finance would be all of that.
to bring?
Yes.
Okay, so like, would now be the time, or is it a different time?
I think, right now, we're just pre-planning on how we're gonna approach the budget. I don't care when you do it. If we have time today and you wanna discuss those things, I'm fine with it.
Okay.
Keeping in mind that, you know, some of them are contractually bound and the contracts won't end for another 18 months, but yeah. So it would be outside of the
Like,
scope of
if
this
you're
budget
if
cycle
you're
altogether.
referring to the sheriff, I was told, because I have it in notes, that 2027 was the sheriff's contract.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, so that would be,
But the contract itself doesn't end for another 18 months, so this is July of 2026.
right, but when
So-
we discussed the budget, I was told the renewal was 2027, not 2028.
It runs, the current thing runs in 2027, so it will have to be renewed for the next fiscal year.
So it wasn't 2027 when
It
it's renewed.
is needing
It's
to be renewed.
2028 when it renews?
No, it will renew next year, but it will run for part of the year.
For part of 2027?
That's my understanding, yeah.
Okay, yeah, maybe we could just get a copy of that contract, and then we'll all
Mm-hmm.
know.
Should have one.
There wants to be after July of next year then, before we even talk about it.
No,
It's
because
crazy.
you have to talk about things before the
Yeah,
contract runs
that's-
out.
That's true too, yeah, that's true.
So, yeah, I mean, I'm just curious, and yeah, I have a lot of ideas, and probably some of them are outside of our budget, but I do have a lot of ideas that I'd love to share whenever we have time.
I think also what will be brought to this committee is the rate study.
The rate study for
Water.
water,
Yeah.
And that should be brought to water as well.
It
Yep.
will be brought to water, but it will affect, I'm gonna say all of council at a work
I'm
session.
pretty confident that's
Is
the
it
case.
back yet?
Let's just say I got a sneak peek of it. I don't wanna disclose anything, but your eyes will be widened. Every single one of you.
But when you get a copy of it, you'll let me know for the
Correct.
water meeting?
Yep.
Perfect.
Yep, I will be presenting it, not just to you, I will be presenting it to the committee,
can I ask when your next water meeting is?
the 27th.
Yeah.
July. So just remember, as we're talking about budget, there's a few items that I
It's on the
want,
27th,
you guys want to make sure.
I think it's the 26th, am I
Yeah,
wrong?
running there, yeah.
It's Monday,
I
the
thought-
26th?
Yeah, maybe,
Oh, wait, I'm looking at October. What
Yeah.
am I doing?
should be the 27th, I
I think
think.
it's July 27th.
July,
Yeah,
Yours going
Yep.
fast enough.
27th. But what the committee also needs to be talking about is, other contracts are probably noted of discussion, but, just remember is that this year, you guys chose to use savings account money for water and sewer payments,
We
for
can't
day-to-day
con-
operations.
We can't continue to do that.
Okay, so I want, there's two main things that you all need to be paying a very, very close attention to. And that is income base. Just remember, the Molly situation, as of today, has not been, there's not somebody moving in there and a contract signed. Okay? So you will reap the effects of that going into probably next year,
Do you know
okay?
of any interest there at all? Have you-
There's been hundreds of interest.
Lots of interest,
Yeah.
but
And
no
that's just
signed
what I've heard.
contracts.
Yeah.
I've been driving Andy crazy with the people that want to. He said no signature yet.
And then you also, like I'm gonna say, is you need to pay very, very, very close attention to your water and sewers. Those are gonna be the main ones that I, as your financial officer, will recommend to you first. You absolutely need to be
They always
paying.
are, aren't they? I mean, that's always the problematic.
But yes, but this
Area.
year was the first time you guys actually used savings account money, which concerns me.
Yeah, we
It's a
can't
big
keep
concern
doing
for
that.
me. Yeah.
Yeah.
We have moved in years past $100,000.
That was a,
As it should not.
I should
Right,
never,
but I'm
that should
saying
never
that
have
happened.
occurred.
You're
It
saying
did,
this was the
under
very first-
financial emergency, because they allowed us.
Yeah.
That, just remember, the water sewer funds should be self-sustaining.
Absolutely.
And this year, it was not self-sustaining. You used savings account money.
Yeah.
Okay? So those are, if I were to say, what were your two major issues, those should be on the very top of your chopping block.
Yeah.
Those two issues should.
It's gonna
absolutely-
happen.
Because here's the thing, guess what? The $100,000 that you moved, that's when you had a lot of income. That's where your $100,000 came from.
Yeah.
It came from income tax.
We don't have that income
So guess what, if you
anymore.
don't have that income tax? And you guys just
Yeah.
you guys cut that more than half. I think it was like 60%.
Mm-hmm.
So just remember, when you're not collecting that, there's no, that cannot be moved.
We're spending money that we shouldn't be spending.
Also, there's going to be requests of employment raises as well.
For our employees
Mm-hmm.
or Madison County?
Well, that's.
D, all
both.
of the above.
Yeah. It was Madison County, will have an increase, and I think I spoke about that at the water meeting, but I'm just, again, reiterating it to the finance meeting.
We can't be giving raises out when we're running in the red, when we're borrowing money from savings.
Well, you're not, so just to be clear, I think we're using terms that are not, should not be used and not be construed. You're not running in the red, you are not.
No, but we're borrowing from our savings.
Which you can, you absolutely have the opportunity to do so. When you start talking about raises, that's a different category,
That's a whole different.
yes. Contractual services, that's a different category as well. So whatever, and that's the detail I'm gonna be bringing to you all. Is that's gonna be the meat of it, is what are their asks? Courtney will never come here and say, oh, I think that the contract says this. You guys will have emails, of course, you'll say, according to state auditor, blah, 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 this is, or according to Daniel at Mid-Ohio, this is what he's requesting. So, just, those are some big concerns of, if you were to get anything out of this, those would be the major concerns you probably should be thinking about. And, you'll have the rate study at the next water meeting. And then, of course, you guys will probably have to have a work session as well.
That makes sense.
Along with the water study at the water meeting, will we have because it's hard to put that in perspective, I feel like it's kind of an ominous statement from you saying, I've had a peek and it's.
I have, yep.
Will we also have the opposite side of the coin, that this is our revenue now, and the expected housing development that's coming
No, you
in?
can't
No,
put
you
that in
can't
the
do that
budget.
in there.
Well, I know you can't put
Yeah.
it in your budget, but we always have to consider
We
those
don't,
things
actually,
as
because we
well.
don't know when they're going to be
Yeah, you
built.
don't
Well,
know.
that's what I am curious as to, if you have any new information on when
No
they
chickens
are-
have hatched.
No start dates at all?
Not that I can share right now, no.
Okay, because I know, we rushed the plot thing on emergency. Right.
We're talking an empty field right now,
Right.
yeah?
Right.
And
I
so,
just-
so for
I just
2027 purposes, I'm assuming are forced to assume 0 houses.
Well, yeah, I would just like to know, though, if there is any correspondence with that housing development on when they are planning on
There
starting.
currently is none because the prerequisites for doing it still are not complete.
Which are what, like deciding?
Financing and trying to figure out how, when, where the housing would even begin to start.
Yeah. Okay, that's
So,
fine.
so no, there's, just as we did with Wingate, until we receive the first, tax payment, we don't factor any of that in.
Well, I mean, I think, too, if somehow we're implying that we need to have a water rate increase, the public would like to know all the facts as
Oh,
well
yeah,
on.
we will.
Most certainly.
When the housing development is starting as well. They would be interested in knowing what we anticipate, and if Showa or Molly or whatever it was last called has any real interest, and if that will be.
So I can
helping us.
confirm to you today it's empty.
So the income tax
Yeah,
doesn't
there's-
affect the water,
there's-
so that
yeah,
one
it
probably
doesn't-
needs to be set aside.
doesn't-
Well, it does affect our water usage. As
Um,
far as Molly, that's why our water income went really down, because they, over the years, have used less and less, and then now, as of this summer, there's none.
Yeah, so
But
what-
it affects both the income and the water.
Well, it does, but it's the speculation of if and when. So when we do a budget, just to be clear, is that it's not that if this could happen, or we want this to happen, or we should have this happen. Your budget, as of today, will not be based on estimates of, we think we're gonna get 195 million houses.
facts.
That's never to be estimated, because again, first of all, you don't know what your income base is gonna be. As far as, is there one person working in a household or a two-person working in a household? That is all, historically, that's how you get your average. That's after 2 to 5 years of averaging, like a capital improvement plan. That's an average
Are you
of what
talking
they're
about
based upon.
income tax, Rita?
Yes, yeah.
Okay.
So
I
like,
was just talking about water usage.
Yeah,
Well,
so-
it's
That's what
both.
I was
and
referring
It's
to.
water
both.
usage, you just don't know. So, I mean, there may be, in one household, there may be 5 people that live there. In another household, there may be 1 person that lives there. So, once the historical data, and that's how rate studies, and you guys have all been through a rate study, because Wayne Cannon actually processed one in RCAP years ago. And you all should be understanding is that getting averages and estimates take over historical data. So, you guys will absolutely get probably a tuxedo Cadillac spreadsheet that is going to include everything, okay? So it will tell you, I was just amazed of how amazing, that there was even something that this RCAP actually created this. I mean, you're talking about the lifespan of a pump down there, pump 53513-19. I mean, that's how detailed it is. All the pumps that are in that water plant. And it
So-
tells you the lifespan of what they expected to be.
Are you talking
So-
about the new rate study?
Yes.
So,
Yeah.
if you've seen it, where is it?
We are still waiting, as I said before. Misty is still processing some numbers that he needs to get to them.
Oh.
He doesn't seem to think that it's gonna fluctuate any worse or any bad, but he's still waiting on some numbers for her. So all I'm saying is, again, I'm not publicly saying I have it in my hand, because this is
Courtney, I got a
not,
question.
this is not something that's been presented to you guys.
Yeah.
But I can tell you that you will have a work session.
Does
And nor did I say it's an increase or a decrease, but
It-
there probably will be a work session.
Does-
It
does
will
the-
not just house here, it'll house of all
does
council.
the cost of inflation rise in this too, though?
Oh, yeah.
That's what I was wondering.
Yeah,
That's
well,
because,
that's
like,
been since 2020.
Yeah, it's been, it's really jumped in the last.
Well, I mean, look at,
Yeah.
you gotta put the budget into your perspective. If you're a good person in your own personal life with finances, look at the gas prices.
Yeah.
They can fluctuate from one day being $5 and the next day being $3.
And groceries are
You
scary
know,
now.
I mean, so, you look at utility costs, look at what it's increased there. So you need to look at, what's happening in your own personal life to think that it's affecting also, people bringing in freight, people driving the chemicals to the water plant.
Yeah.
I mean, you gotta think about that too.
Even
And,
$1.79 for Twinkies.
I mean, it's just, it's
I
everything.
buy them all the time.
So you
I
gotta,
skip for a dime.
you gotta think of that as the water and the sewer fund as a business. You do. You have to think of it like that. So, again, it won't sit at just one committee. It'll be as a whole. But, I did get a sneak peek of it, and, Again, I'm not gonna publicly say anything until we have the official copy.
Interesting.
But again, that's what I'm trying to explain to you as your financial advisor, is that those are the main issues you all need to probably keep in the back of your mind.
Thank you for that very lengthy
Yeah.
presentation,
Yeah.
but much needed. Thank you very much. Becky, thank you for your input as well. So when we come in next meeting, Courtney's going to have some reports for us.
Or,
Budget, do you not bring in, what can we expect next meeting?
well, like what we did last year, if we all can remember, is that we tried to put a timeline, and some of that didn't get met, because just in historical times, there's not just been one work session during budget, okay? So there's been quite a few we've always had. And I think it deserves conversation. I think it deserves effectiveness and efficiency, by council. And, I think, I don't want to run out the shot clock, but it has to be approved by December 31st. So historically, we've always done it that first meeting in December. It gives them enough time to send it to the county, everybody get it on a 3-reading vote. Don't think it should ever be on an emergency. Allows the community have input.
Last year, I believe we started, having our budget meetings in October, if that's what I.
I thought we were late then. We always want to try earlier.
We do, but, conversations will happen, and, when we're sitting in a 2-hour meeting, sometimes it doesn't get effective or efficient. Is that, bring your ideas to the table, bring your concerns to the table, and then again, it'll come to a vote. I mean, historically, that's how it's been handled. But, yeah, I mean, I plan to be, I got this audit that I'm still working on, just so you guys know, is that there's auditors that will, not to change the subject, auditors will be in here all this week. Again, as I reported before, these are state auditors, these are not third-party auditors. So they will be looking in every nook and cranny. There will
Also,
be.
this is, if I may interject, this is not a surprise. They happen all the time.
Yes.
Yeah, this is a normal, usual thing that everyone goes through. So unfortunately, we have to pay for it.
Yeah.
But, yeah, they'll be here. They'll be here.
Yeah, so, again, that was what I talked about when we had to move that money to, to suppress the fee that, was allotted. They will find mistakes, unless anybody's met a perfect person. Yeah, there will be mistakes. The mistakes that I can basically tell you is probably how things are receipted. It should have been in this line item, but it was put in this line item.
Okay.
It may have been receipted to a miscellaneous, and it should have been in, operations and
But
supplies.
the dollars don't change.
Yeah, right.
Just
So
the
there's
line
not
item.
expected, issues with invoices and things like that. I just think that there's probably, receipt issues. I see that there might be some policies that come out, as far as, what council's required to do, as far as like, some public records trainings that they're coming out with that are new. They believe that that's important for all board members to take. So that's gonna be something at the state level that, and this is simply all they are is the ones that I take are taken online. So, I think they want to get, more, council members involved in, public records requests, because it sounds like people ask for them all the time. So I do see some new policies maybe being that we're gonna have to pass here on, we probably should be doing this. But, again, there's gonna be mistakes that are gonna be found. I have no doubt that there's gonna be, something that is gonna be brought up. Yeah.
Okay.
And like I said, it's mostly, it was receipted to a miscellaneous category when it should have been here. So,
Okay.
it's just I think a procedural thing. Nothing, I don't expect anything drastic.
Would our next meeting be a good time to bring things like Becky mentioned, if you want to talk about a village administrator?
Yep.
Or if Park and Rec wants to talk about adding something, or, we
Yep.
want to bring our ideas to do things. So next meeting, if you want to talk about that. David, if you have any ideas of things you would like to bring.
Yes, I'd be the time
If
to do it.
anyone wants to join us at the next meeting, they can bring ideas in, and we can discuss them. so we can start doing those things. In the meantime,
Yeah, you won't have a spreadsheet, so if you have a dollar amount to
we won't have
it,
any numbers.
okay? Or you say, hey, I was thinking about, I wanted to buy a Ferris wheel. Okay, we got it checked, okay, how much is it? What's the permits, what's the electricity, that sort of thing. So try to bring some of those ideas of like, and I know that's,
I'd like to have new chairs.
yeah, so just make
We all
sure that
would,
you all.
David.
I guess
We
I
all
agree
would.
with
Yeah, so just make sure that you guys all bring something, you won't have the spreadsheet. Because what I would like to do is, because this is finance and it's always ran this way, is that once I get a compile of, okay, 1 year I went out and bid out chemicals, okay? So, I'm gonna bring to you some of the things that I'm gonna look for as far as what the estimated revenues are and expenditures and things. So I'll try to bring some of that stuff, but bring in also, you're not gonna have the spreadsheet, so just write the ideas down. I won't have a cost fix to it.
Okay. All right.
But then what will happen is once I get that spreadsheet, you guys may have to have another finance meeting.
Yes.
Just to kind of see what it looks like. Because again, as finance, it is your responsibility and obligation, not that it's not for all of council members, but, for finance is to, when it's thrown up and projected on the board, that you guys support because you're gonna make a recommendation saying, hey, we think that this is the best spread, or the best budget, and we're gonna take it to the work session. So be able to,
that's be the
back
way
it
to do
up, be confident with it, and, be able to say, well, this is what we're, because a council member could say, that's outrageous, like, I don't know. Red shirts don't cost $1 million, they only cost $10. So, I mean, you wanna look through it so that you can support,
Right.
and be effective with, your colleagues, and say, okay, no, we got a quote on this. You can't willy-nilly it and say, this is what I think it's gonna
No.
be.
Nope.
Quotes are always required, suggested, well, I say required because that's what you're gonna go by. You're not just gonna say, well, when I got my patio poured at my house, this is how much it was. You wanna see what the labor and the whole cost is.
Okay. Very good. The capital improvement plan, is something that Andy and I worked on years ago. And I don't know if you still have a copy of the old one, Andy?
I do. I'd be
Can-
happy to
can-
distribute it, sure.
Yeah, can we take a look at that at the next meeting? And start working on that as well?
Do you have that, or you want me to send the last one where I left off?
I have the one that you sent years and years ago.
That's the one I'm referring to.
Yeah.
Well, I really think that you probably should make some edits to that
Okay?
and then send it.
I'm
Now,
happy.
what I'm gonna say, and I don't mean to be rude about this, and I guess take it however you want to, that budget needs to be done first. My focus will be on the budget.
Yes,
Yeah.
absolutely.
So whenever you guys start talking about capital improvement, that will be on my back burner.
Absolutely.
Okay.
No, and I agree with that, but it's still something that Andy and I can be taking a look at and putting some numbers into. And then when we're done with the budget, we can present that.
Correct.
You agree with that, Andy?
Yeah, I think that, just to be honest with you, we have very, very limited room for capital improvements right now. And the capital improvement plan should have been done a long time ago, but it takes comprehensive planning and not wish lists in order to do that.
Right.
So it requires a lot of heavy lifting and prioritization process, which we do on a yearly basis, which is hard to stick to unless you have a comprehensive plan. So I'm with Courtney that I think that we start including elements of it in our budget and then coalesce around a longer-term capital improvement plan.
Exactly. I just
Andy,
want to
one
see
thing I think
something.
we all think about down the road is the roofing here, because that slate is getting old.
Sure,
And it's,
sure, all that.
and I think that should be eventually, yeah.
There's lots of things in that category that
Yes, yes.
kind of
Right.
go on the list.
Well, I think we've said for years, the furniture in here is disgraceful. The chairs are disgraceful. There's
I
lots
think
of
we
things in-
allocated some money at one point, and may have gotten chopped
We did.
to buy some used office furniture.
Yes.
Um,
That was this year,
We're
wasn't
gonna try
it?
to get some surplus office furniture from somewhere and see if we can't can't purge some of the ones that are seen better days, as it were. So yeah, we don't typically buy new office furniture around here. We try to find, there's plenty of used office furniture to look at.
I know.
With those items just thrown in by David and Joyce, I would also, and again, I'm fully prepared to do it next month, but just for thought, as far as town hall goes, the restrooms, I know they're working now, but they look, they're embarrassing. They need clean, they need repaired, maybe not the flusher, the flush mechanism actually works, but they're very bad looking. The entryway to town hall, there's tiles in the ceiling that are missing. And outside the building, a big piece of metal fell off. I brought that in last year, and you can see more dangling right around the, I don't know what it's called, if it's facing or, it's a metal going around it.
The edging.
And then I had chairs and general repairs and upkeep, but also the roofing that David said, and then the microphone. I really think we need to get a working microphones that can be left out and for the public and the sheriff and everybody else to use. So those were some of my town hall repairs. And then again, I did mention the village administrator idea. I think if we are able to find it in our budget, he could handle a lot of nuisance issues, oversee projects, research, the comprehensive plan. He could add in on budgeting, grant opportunities, communicating with the county, all different things a village administrator could be used for, and throw that in there. And so everyone can think about it, and then maybe next month
I
we
look
can
forward to
talk
sharing
about
my thoughts about that as well. So that's
more.
those are good.
Okay. All right, we will start on those next meeting. I did not have this with me last night. I didn't have it in here. I had it back on my desk. But I would like to present this check to Courtney to present at the next meeting. And it is for Parks and Rec. It is a check from Ed Everhart for the parking for $995 for tournament parking. I'm presenting this to Courtney to present at the next council meeting. Not a bad weekend's work. So thank you, Ed. And thank you, Courtney. I believe the last check they gave us was 400 and something. Is that correct?
I can't remember.
I think it was.
It
So,
differs each time.
yeah. Okay. Do we have any other outstanding items for finance?
I don't have any more.
I have stuff to sign.
Okay.
Okay. All right. It was okay to do that now?
Yes, ma'am.
Okay. All right, I'm gonna sit here, because I know we're all not down at the same spot, okay? And then I'll bring them over. Okay, so not a lot this time. There's 2 payrolls that need to be approved.
Courtney, I'm going to go cover that other meeting.
Okay, please, thank you.
Starting here momentarily.
Thanks. Okay, and then I also have, again, because the regular blanket certificates had expired as of July the 1st, you guys will be approving or reassigning those because they expire every 3 months. So you will have a small stack of those.
Oh, you going to get him, David?
Well, I was just gonna bring them over to you, David. Yeah, that way you guys don't have to get up.
We can just relax for a minute.
I was gonna get them for us, you know.
And then here, this is one that I found that was stuck against a paper clip to one of my others. This was an older one earlier in the last month. Hydrant parts, we had to buy, there was a leak on one of the hydrants, so we had to buy a part for that. Supplies at Dwyer's, that was some of that, what Andy was talking about yesterday, about some spray that we got. We can't get it next door. Annual fire inspection, which is a must at the water plant. How to buy a new garage door opener down at the service garage. Street taping, have you guys noticed any of the change of direction of parking over here beside Town Hall? Some people are parking vertically.
Yeah.
Okay,
Especially on
Yeah.
weekends, I've noticed.
yeah, so we
Yeah,
changed
yeah.
that, which it does break down the amount of parking spots, just so you guys know,
Yeah.
because it was vertically.
Yep.
And then it, over time and age or whatever, the lines needed to be remarked.
You just
But
don't
they're
know-
technically supposed to be
You was
horizontal.
talking about garage door openers, I had to buy a brand new one the other day,
Yep,
yeah.
so that's the tape for
I was
that.
getting ready to get out my riding mower and snap.
For our auditing services. Let's see, generator maintenance. So I think we all remember the little blackout that we had.
Yeah.
Was it like 2 or 3 weeks ago, 2 weeks ago?
Yeah.
The generator did not start up. So I called in an emergency to our generator people to get that all fixed.
So is it all fixed?
They're waiting on parts, but this was like what they had to do with it.
I
to
think
get
the
it started.
neighbors liked it, Courtney, because I was practicing on my electric guitar when it went
Yeah.
off.
You'll see also the blades, we needed some new blades for the lawnmower. That was onto the street. You guys will also be signing this. This is a duplicate as well, but remember, when I send checks out, I just make another copy of it. VFD, so this was something that was done at the water plant. This again was in their budget for this year, so when you see VFD, there was something that was replaced on that. And that's it. And then Becky, I have minutes that I think you had forgot to sign, so I'll just have to sign that.
Okay. Trees or water?
Water. I'll just give you that because you're the only one.
Okay.
David, I'll have you start. this
Okay.
file.
Okay, I'll
Pass
start.
them on down.
Okay, all right, we'll get them done.
This is back from March.
Yeah. I think we had
What happened? We
walked out without it.
There we go. Pass me through here. I should have been a doctor with my writing.
Yes, it's very attractive.
Joyce, this is for minutes today.
I always kid RJ, me and him write a lot.
Okay. David?
Okay, okey-doke.
What minutes? Okay. Cool. All right. That is it.
I already did them on paper, so I got them done, so. Yeah, and then so. Payroll. There's that one. Quite a bit. Reminds me when I was a temporary at show at that time when I was on the line, pass it on down.
Pass it on down the line. Wasn't there a
Yeah.
song about that?
Yeah, there's one Johnny Cash called, I try to remember the whole thing about it. I told you about that Buck, I told you about the Buck Owens things.
Yeah.
About the grass.
Yeah. All right.
Looks like you missed.
Oh, thank you, I appreciate that. I appreciate
Just
that.
stuck the other one.
It's easy to do.
Okay,
Thank you, Becky, appreciate that.
if there's nothing else from anyone, I will adjourn the meeting.
Well, I gotta head over to the museum.
All right, thank you all.
Will you all take care now?
There was a song about that too.
Yeah.
Or was that a sitcom?
That was a
Y'all
sitcom.
take care now.
Yeah,
y'all.
and-
What was that off of?
And of the Beverly Hillbillies.
Oh, yeah.
And then Granny with Lloyd Black, yes.
Yeah.
No wonder I'm a trivia champion. I don't know if it does me good or